as far as enabling the talent. Paul, you have all these new re-engineered processes that are beginning to pile up and doing good things. How are you tracking, maintaining, and managing them? What's the governance that you have in place for this?
Thanks, Stephen. And that's such an important part of the program. And operations tends to learn from its mistakes. And we've had people writing macros and creating UDTs at the speed of light over many years. And I had one of my bosses many years ago deemed the STP as straight through problems, and I've always been very sensitive to that. So the governance around how these user tools, this citizen development is happening, needs to be governed, controlled, managed, inventoried. We need to understand the sensitivity of the information going in and coming out. And we've adopted much of the governance that our technology partners have put in place on the change management, and the reviews of what's happening. And that's really important. I mean, our guys are writing things that auto close an exception. We have to make sure that's tried, tested, reviewed. So we put a governance program in to manage that. So every time we develop in UiPath or any of the technologies that we leverage, we make sure we have the guiding principles set forth that our tech professionals have put in place. And we leverage the same protocols. And we have audits against it. We have an embedded control team that tests them, because we don't want to lose control of it. We deem something, bots gone wild, and we have to stay out of that kind of situation. So the governance is as important as all the development and the efficiencies that we're getting, that we get from the program. So it's a great question.
Yeah. And it seems that the next level of enhancement is that integration between these automated processes, which you really can add that another layer of complexity, which is very, very natural. But it sounds like it's a critical thing to really have your arms around, or you might have bots gone wild.
And let me add one more thing. It just popped into my head. The other thing is, we have strategic programs. Let's say we have a strategic reference data program that could take 5 years, right? It's
right.
Big. It's complex. We don't have 5 years to wait before we can deal with that. And that's what this is doing. Maybe 5 years too long of a time, or 2 years. We can't wait that long. We still have to deal with these exceptions. We still have these client deliverables. So we make sure we time box. Okay, we wrote this process, but it's really because we have bad data, underlying data. When is that underlying data going to be fixed strategically? So we make sure we understand what issue we're solving, and we map it back to a strategic fix if there is one, and then we time box it to make sure that the strategic fix actually is delivered, and we could retire the particular process that we've written in operation. So I think that's a really tying this work to the long-term strategic, either data or our strategic platform.
Yep, and I'm thinking also, Paul, that you're growing to have a really energized workforce that's able to sit there and, boy, there's a better way of doing something, and then there is tremendous potential possibility to maybe changing things. instead of waiting for this. It's almost a decentralized reengineering compared to the centralized reengineering process.
Yeah, and it's especially acute in accounting, I find, mostly in accounting, because just like our own personal accountants, it's really difficult to change. I had an unfortunate incident. My personal accountant passed away. I'm very complex, given the different firms I worked at, and that was the struggle of moving to a new accountant was really, really difficult. And it's the same thing our clients face. And they want the same person to talk to. They know my account. They know me. They understand. So keeping our tenured people engaged, retooled, challenged, getting them out of that manual work that they hate to do, focused on value add work, we're lengthening their careers and we're making them more exciting and challenging. And then these freshers coming in, they're young, they want to be part of the process. They're getting immediate gratification because they have these people that are real experts in the business high-fiving them because they just saved them, an hour a day, right? Yeah. In doing a, job that, that's really not value and rewarding. So yeah. The model is ideal from my perspective and my workforce.